Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 34 Iron Man Clay. Captain Sheen, I am the artificial intelligence Duduke, created by Mr. Tony specifically for Sister Clay, and can help her complete various tasks. Duduke's eyes lit up and said to Sheen, Artificial intelligence? What is this? But thank you Mr. Tony, he is also thoughtful. Now I finally have a friend who can always accompany Clay to talk. Sheen was very happy to see this, and Clay was finally not so lonely. Okay, this time, for the sake of Duduke and Mr. Tony, I will let you go out and play for a while, but don't cause trouble for me, understand? Sheen did not stop her, but still warned Clay. I know, Captain Sheen, I'm going to play now. As soon as Sheen finished speaking, Clay ran directly to the door of the Knights, and her voice came from a distance. I don't know why, I always feel a little uneasy, it should be okay. Sheen shook her head, stopped thinking about it, and turned back to the office. It's still the Starfall Lake, still that familiar place. Hey, Tujiko, let's get started. Clay took out a lot of bombs, or shells, from her backpack. The next second, the nanoparticles on Tujiko's body surged and turned directly into a small red Iron Man suit, covering Clee's body. Nanoparticles are a very light material, even if they cover Clee's body, you can hardly feel any weight. Because there was no shell loaded before, Clay needs to load it herself now. Not only that, you can also release powerful magic directly through Clee's Eye of God, and release it in the form of clay bombs. In the past, Clay could only throw it by hand, but this time she can directly launch it, and the power is almost doubled. This suit also has the ability to fly. Oh, this is Tujiko suit mode, Clay likes it so much. Tujiko, are you there? Clay looked at her own suit in surprise and touched it all over her body. Because Clay didn't know how to make the Iron Man suit, Tony added an automatic repair function when making the suit. If you are injured in battle, you can directly absorb external materials for automatic repair. With the artificial intelligence control of Dudu, you can repair it exactly. Sister Kelly, Dudu is at your service. Dudu can detect the surrounding situation at any time during the battle and analyze the battlefield situation for you at any time. Dudu's voice sounded in Kelly's ears. Okay, Dudu, let's start experimenting with new bombs. Kelly said excitedly. She stretched her arm forward, and the nanoparticles surged, forming a cannon barrel in an instant. The next second, the energy of the fire element surged, and a cannonball flew out and hit the Starfall Lake in an instant. The bomb that Kelly made this time, because of the technology of Tony's transformation, can be made into the size of a finger, and the power is even greater than the original. With the control of Dudu, you can directly complete various delicate tasks, and it can be turned into various tools. Time returned to Kelly again, and a small cannonball flew out and instantly fell into the Starfall Lake. The next second, a huge wave appeared, and the water of the entire Starfall Lake was almost lifted up. Then, countless fish were blown away, and fish rained down from the sky instantly. Ah, this power is great. Clay likes this new bomb too much. Duduke, let's test our new bouncing bomb. Boom. Boom. In just one morning, the water level of the entire Starfall Lake dropped by almost 1 meter, and at the same time, the Starfall Lake expanded by almost double. This time, it was just like the original Zexing Cliff incident. Clay changed the terrain of Zexing Cliff directly, and the broken corner of Zexing Cliff can still be seen now. And this time, the Starfall Lake expanded by almost double, and almost all the fish in the lake died. According to the residents of Mondstadt, they heard countless rumbling sounds that day, and even the earth could feel a slight tremor. At this time, a certain wind god who was heading to Laiva Harbor felt the ground trembling slightly under his feet, and heard a faint sound from afar, and couldn't help but speed up his pace. No, I was only planning to stay in Laiva for a week, but this time it seems that I will stay for a month. Wendy wiped the non-existent cold sweat on his forehead, and his feet moved faster. Clay's new bomb was successfully tested. Now Clay can better help the brothers and sisters of the Knights to deal with those annoying hillbillies in the future. Now Captain Jean will never lock Clay in the small dark room again. Clay flew in the air with her hands on her hips, looked at her masterpiece and nodded slightly, very satisfied with the power of this bomb. That. Sister Clay, I don't think Captain Jean will be angry this time. Duduke's voice reminded at the right time. What, Duduke, look at how powerful the bomb we made is. Captain Jean will definitely be very happy when he knows it. Clay was puzzled when she heard it. Because Captain Jean is less than 1,000 meters away from you, rushing here. And according to the micro-expression analysis stored in my database, the probability of Captain Jean getting angry is 100%, and the probability of you being locked up in the small dark room is 100%. Tujiko's analysis came, and Clee's excitement was directly extinguished. Clay Clay slowly landed, and looked at Jean, who was leading a group of knights, rushing over quickly, and she was about to cry. Kelly. Jin looked at Kelly not far away, and the anger in her heart almost burst out. It's only been a morning since we last met, and she has caused such a big mess, and it seems to be more terrifying than before. Captain Jean. Kelly took off her Iron Man suit, and she almost cried when she saw Jean's expression. Kelly, you did all this. Jean looked at the lake around her, and she could hardly believe her eyes, and even her voice was trembling slightly. Amber, Noel, and others behind her also widened their eyes, thinking that they were worthy of being the Spark Knights of Mondstadt, which was really terrifying. Kelly, what did you do? Where is the Starfall Lake here? Amber looked at the almost vaporized Starfall Lake, and was shocked beyond words. Sister Amber, Kelly just wanted to give Captain Jean a surprise, but Duduke said that Captain Jean was very angry and wanted to lock Kelly in a small dark room. What should we do now? Kelly came to Amber and looked at Amber and said carefully. What did Dudu say? Amber was puzzled and looked at the Dudu on Clee's chest. Hello, respected Scout Knight Amber sister, I am the artificial intelligence Dudu. At this time, Dudu's eyes lit up and said to Amber. Hey? Dudu can talk. Amber and Noel's eyes were attracted by Dudu, and they couldn't help but look over. Dudu. Jean's voice came, and then she directly picked up Clay. Let's talk about Dudu later, Clay. Go to the confinement room first. After saying that, she took Clay back without saying anything. Amber and Noel behind them shrugged at each other and had no choice but to follow Jean back. By the way, Amber, I want Wendy to be wanted throughout the city. Bring him to me after you find him. After walking a few steps, Jean suddenly thought of something and gritted her teeth at Amber. Okay, Captain Jean. Amber shrank his neck when he heard it, and quickly agreed. He could only pray to Wendy silently in his heart. Achu. At this time, in a forest not far from Liyue Harbor, a wind god sneezed several times in a row. What's going on? Am I catching a cold? Wendy no longer cared about other things and continued to travel. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 35, Meeting an Old Friend in Liyue. Hey? This is Liyue Harbor. I haven't been here for more than 1,000 years. I didn't expect it to change so much. Not long after, Wendy finally arrived at Liyue Harbor. Looking at the prosperous scene here, he was amazed. I don't know where the old man is. Let's find a place to drink first. Wendy looked around and didn't know where to find Zhongli, so he had to play here first. By the way, the traveler should still be in Liyue now. I wonder if there is a chance to meet him. Wendy walked on the bustling streets of Liyue, watching all kinds of people coming and going. Liyue is a city with extremely developed commerce, because the Rock King Emperor is the patron saint of Liyue, and he is also called the god of contract, the god of commerce, etc. In addition, the Mora currency named after his god name Morik circulates throughout the continent, so Liyue Harbor can be said to be the most developed city in the entire continent. Well, why not go to Wanman Hall? I've always heard that there are two major cuisines in Liyue Harbor, the moon and glass cuisines of Sinuexua and Liyu Living. But if Xiangling is in Wanman Hall, then we can go directly to Wanman Hall. Thinking of Zhongli's evaluation of Liyue cuisine in the Destiny space, Wendy felt that it could be used as a reference for himself. He asked a passerby how to get to Wanman Hall and went directly to Wanman Hall to have a look. After a long time, Wendy finally arrived at Wanman Hall, but did not find Xiangling here, but since he was here, he would eat here directly. Not long after, Wendy, who was full of alcohol, walked out of Wanman Hall with a burp. It should be said that the dishes in Wanman Hall are quite delicious, and the most important thing is that the price is affordable. Sure enough, that old man is picky about taste. Wendy looked at the busy streets, but didn't know what to do after dinner. I have to hide here for at least a month. I can't always wander around alone. Why don't we go find Morix? I heard that he is now a guest of the Hall of Rebirth. Forget it, I'm too lazy to find him. That guy is too boring. Wendy originally planned to find Zhongli, but after thinking about it, he decided not to. Although he hadn't seen him for more than 1,000 years, there was no need to rush. I don't know how the wine in Liuport is. I have to taste it this time. Thinking of the wine in Liuport, Wendy couldn't help but want to try it again. Although Wanman Hall also has some wine, it is not all the wine in Liuport, and they are all low-end wines. Today, the god of wind is rich and is no longer the bard who sells singing for a day to drink. The last book said, at that time, Liyue was invaded by a big demon in the sea and evil chi was entrenched in the mountains. The Emperor of Rock King summoned all the immortals to return the world to a bright and clear world. Legend has it that when the Emperor went to war, he once said dash. When passing by a storyteller, I suddenly saw an acquaintance who was still talking just now. How come I ran into him now? Is the old man so idle? Fortunately, he doesn't have the heart of God anymore, otherwise I would have been beaten up if I had just walked over. Wendy muttered, but still walked over. Old man, why are you so idle now? You still have time to drink tea and listen to books here. Looking at the young man in front of him who was sitting upright, with calm eyes, drinking tea slowly, Wendy walked over to him and sat down and smiled. Huh? Barbados, how come you, a drunkard, came to Liuport? Zhongli was also very surprised to see Wendy. Although the two hadn't seen each other for more than 1,000 years, he still recognized him at a glance. Well, it's not that I haven't seen you for a long time, so I thought of coming to you to catch up. Wendy said hesitantly after hearing this. In fact, if he wasn't afraid of being wanted by Qin, he probably wouldn't have thought of coming here, unless he wanted to travel around the continent one day and pass by here. I don't think so. Although I have stepped down from the throne, do you think you can deceive me? Zhongli took a sip of tea slowly and said unhurriedly. No, I just thought I haven't seen you for a long time, so I came to treat you to a drink. As he said that, he took out a bottle of wine and poured it directly into the cup where Zhongli had finished drinking tea. He would never tell the knights that he was wanted by the knights. As the god of wind, he was wanted by people who believed in him. How embarrassing it would be to say it out. Whatever you want. Zhongli did not take the glass of wine, but just said it indifferently. Speaking of which, the last time we had a party was more than 1,000 years ago. At that time, the 7 of us often drank together in your Liyue. In a blink of an eye, there were only 2 of us left. Wendy listened to the storyteller talking about the deeds of the Rock King, and his thoughts drifted directly to more than 1,000 years ago. Since you first came to my place to deliver wine, the other gods would come together from time to time and regard my Liyue harbor as a gathering place. Zhongli thought about the past and couldn't help but take a sip of wine. Yeah, think about the old friends back then, now you are the only one left. Wendy rarely stopped laughing, and her tone was quite heavy. The two chatted intermittently, and before they knew it, it was already afternoon. Let's go, find a place, let's have another drink together. Zhongli stood up and walked out while talking. Hey, old man, is the traveler here too? Call him over too. Wendy thought about the traveler who had adventured with her at the beginning, and couldn't help asking. He's here. Zhongli was about to speak when he suddenly saw a young man walking towards him, with an emergency food beside him. Traveler, come quickly, isn't that old man Zhongli? Hey. It seems that the person next to him is Wendy. How come this guy who doesn't do his job came to Liu? Paimon was strolling with Kong, and suddenly saw the two people in front of him, and hurriedly said to Kong, Yo, traveler, little Paimon, long time no see. Wendy saw the two people and greeted them with a smile. Singer, why did you come to Liu Port? Did the people of Mondstadt finally can't stand your singing and drive you out? Paimon looked at Wendy coming, flew in the air with his hands on his hips, and said arrogantly, Little Paimon, I am the best bard in the whole continent. They like my song so much, why would they drive me away? I just came to see an old friend. Wendy retorted after hearing this. We are just planning to have a gathering. Do you want to come? Zhongli ignored the two people who were bickering and invited Kong. Okay, Paimon and I have nothing to do anyway, so let's go and have some fun together. Kong was stunned when he heard this. He obviously didn't expect these two idle people to be so leisurely and elegant, so he agreed directly. Let's go. I'll treat you today. I tell you, I'm different now. I promise to make you look at me with new eyes. Wendy said directly, patting her chest to prove that she is not a poor god. Hey? The street singer actually has money to treat us. This is the first time I've seen it. Then I won't be polite to you. Payman's eyes lit up when he heard this, as if he met Wendy for the first time. Several people started a discussion about whether to go to Xinyuechuan or Liulai Pavilion, and finally decided to go to the nearest Xinyuechuan. The group went straight to the nearest Xinyuechuan and ordered a table of dishes directly. Payman was even more impolite and directly chose the expensive ones. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 36 The Story of the Holy Lord. After everyone finished eating, it was already evening, and then they said hello and went their separate ways. The chat group was still as lively as ever. Although there were not many people, it felt like there were hundreds of people. Everyone, something bad has happened. The Holy Lord has been resurrected ahead of time, and it has become stronger than before. Xiao's voice suddenly appeared in the chat group. What's wrong, Xiao? Take your time. Longtime water group Dragon King Conan came online and asked hurriedly. It's like this. When I joined the chat group before, the Holy Lord had already obtained many talismans. After I knew the original plot, I originally took advantage of the fact that I knew the plot in advance, and got the remaining talismans in advance with Uncle Long. As a result, I don't know what happened to the Holy Lord, and he suddenly got all the remaining talismans, and also had the abilities of all the masks that shouldn't have appeared now. Xiao hurriedly explained everything, but everyone was shocked. Don't worry, the primary purpose now is to first know the reason for all this, and then we can formulate an action plan. Deku also appeared at this time, comforting Xiao. That's right. Did you find anything wrong before? Conan reminded. It seems that there is nothing wrong. Oh, by the way, if I have to say it, the action of getting the talisman later was too simple. Even though I knew everything in advance, it shouldn't be like this. Xiao thought about it and expressed her doubts. According to the character of the Lord, unless we bring the talisman into District 13, it will temporarily give up taking the talisman. But in the next few times, the Lord's men retreated directly when they met us, and I took Uncle Long to the Lord's location before, but it was not there. We'd better consult the group leader for this matter. Conan thought about it and decided to look for Shichen directly. I already know that the matter is actually related to Wu Liuqi's world last time. Shichen stopped diving and came out to tell everyone about it. Ah, it's related to my world. Wu Liuqi also went online after hearing this, and was surprised. Last time, although Wendy and Ben defeated the third-level Source Beast, they broke the space in the end. One of the crystal fragments of the Source Beast fell into the space crack and accidentally came to Xiao's world, and was also obtained by the Holy Lord. Shichen explained slowly. So the Holy Lord can use the power of the Source Beast crystal? Xiao asked in confusion. Yes, the Holy Lord absorbed the power of the Source Beast crystal and can absorb the origin of the world. The origin of your world has become a physical entity. They are the Holy Lord's talisman and the demon mask. Because the Holy Lord is the master of the talisman, and he has talismans around him, he can directly absorb the power of other talismans remotely. And because he absorbed the power of the Black Shadow Legion mask before, he can also absorb the power of other masks of the same origin, so he has become the Holy Lord now. Shichen explained the changes of the Holy Lord from beginning to end, so that everyone finally knew the source. The original power of the Holy Lord belongs to the third level. Now that he has the power of all the demon masks, he has successfully broken through the limit of the world and can reach the fourth level. If he absorbs the power of the other 7 demons, he will directly reach the peak of the fourth level, and even have the hope of breaking through the threshold of the fifth level. So you need to be careful not to let the Holy Lord absorb the power of other demons. Shichen continued to warn. Ah, please help me, or I will be completely gone. Xiao Yu said with a sad face. Since it is related to me, then I will go again. Ban suddenly appeared and said. By the way, where is Wendy? Ban suddenly thought of another Wendy. Why didn't he show up when he was planning to go there? He was having a party with old friends and was drunk. Shichen's eyes saw through countless worlds and knew what happened to Wendy directly. In this case, Ban no longer hesitated, but he couldn't beat the Holy Lord by himself. It's a pity that Xiao's world can only have the power of the fourth level at most, and my world seems to be unable to go there. Saitama wanted to go there, but after understanding the power that the world can withstand, he knew that he couldn't go there, and could only look at everyone helplessly. I'll go there, my strength is just right. Deku suddenly said at this time. And, there is also me, although my strength is relatively weak, I should still be able to help a little. At this time, a voice that was almost forgotten by everyone came, and everyone saw that it was Rem who entered the group with Xiao. Rem is usually a workaholic, and she is relatively introverted in the chat group, so she doesn't talk to them often, so that everyone almost forgets her. Sister Rem, Are you coming too? That's great. Xiao saw that Rem was also planning to come, and she was very happy in her heart, because the other party came in with her, and they were also girls, so the two had some private exchanges. But I don't know if it's enough for only a few of us. Rem hesitated when she heard the words. It was not that she was afraid, but she was afraid that she and her group could not defeat the Holy Lord. Tony had been creating the artificial intelligence for Dodoko, and now he is sleeping. Wendy got drunk, and now she is sleeping. Kai is on a mission. Saitama is too strong to be defeated. Conan is too weak and only has passive abilities, so he is useless against the Holy Lord. Shichen analyzed the current situation for everyone. Why not just leave it like this? I think it should be enough. Dagu said after hearing this. He was quite confident in his strength, but he was afraid of accidents. But when he faced the monsters alone, was there any time when he was 100% sure of success? Forget it, I'll go. Shichen thought about it. He hadn't appeared in many chapters. This time he finally had something to do. Why not go for a stroll, otherwise the readers would almost forget that he was the protagonist of this novel. But group leader, aren't you stronger? Saitama can't go, how can you go? Dagu was stunned after hearing this, and asked everyone's doubts. It's okay, I can directly separate a little bit of the mental power in the chat group, which is enough to suppress the strength to the peak of the 4th level, so that I can go directly to Xiao's world. Shichen smiled and explained after hearing this. Great, with the help of the group leader, this time it will be foolproof. Xiao said excitedly. Let's go, Xiao, find a place where there is no one, and we will go directly there. Shichen looked at Xiao and said. No problem, I'm here now. Uncle Long and Dad are following Officer Black to track down the Holy Lord. Now there are only me and True in the store, but now we're going to clean the room inside. Xiao said hurriedly. Let's go, everyone, just go directly there. Okay, let's go. Everyone responded at the same time and clicked the teleport. The next second, a portal appeared in front of them, and the other side was Xiao's world. Haha, I also need to move my body, otherwise I'm almost an old man. Shichen smiled, and then found Xiao's world through the chat group, splitting out a trace of mental power, and then turned into a physical clone and appeared directly in front of Xiao. Start as Chaos Demon and join the chat group. Chapter 37 World Level. Soon, 4 figures appeared in front of Xiao, Shichen, Daegu, Madara and Rem. Shichen, dressed in modern clothes, with sharp eyebrows and starry eyes, and elegant manners. Daegu, dressed in casual clothes with a smile in his eyes. Madara was still dressed the same as when he went to the world of Wuliakai last time, and Rem was dressed in a maid outfit. Welcome everyone to my world, group leader, what should we do next? Since Shichen appeared here, Xiao directly followed Shishen's arrangements. At this time, Shichen turned into a young man dressed in modern clothes, with sharp eyebrows and starry eyes, and he was awe-inspiring without anger, but also with a little affinity. Let me see where the Holy Lord is now, and then I will go there. After all, it is not the original spiritual power, but only a very small trace of his spiritual power. If you want to find a person in this world, you must slowly sense it. The Holy Lord seems to have gone to Asia, where he used to be the palace, and he is going there to release his former subordinates. Xiao reminded when she saw this. I know. Shichen nodded, and his huge spiritual power covered the sky and the earth, and he directly found the location of the Holy Lord. Not only that, but also Jackie Chan and his group. Let's go, I have found the other party. Shichen looked into the distance and nodded slightly, saying to everyone. But how do we get there? Ban suddenly asked. Seeing this, everyone looked at Shichen. Shichen looked around, grabbed a bird at random, and the endless immortal power surged, instantly evolving a bird into a giant bird with a wingspan of 10 meters, like a ferocious beast from the prehistoric times. Let's go, we will go slowly. As he said, Shichen took the lead and walked on the back of the big bird. Although the others were shocked, they did not delay anymore and quickly followed him. Wow, cool, big brother, do you usually travel like this? Will it be a bit of a waste of birds? Xiao walked around excitedly on the back of the giant bird, and couldn't help looking at Shichen and asked. It's okay. I seldom go out. I may not go out once in a million years. Shichen couldn't help but have a few black lines on his forehead when he heard Xiaoyu's words, but he still explained. Let's go. You don't have to worry about being blown away. This little guy has the ability to block and dissolve wind. Let's go slowly. Jackie Chan and the others will not be in danger. Shichen smiled and said to the few people who were looking around out of curiosity. The giant bird spread its wings and took off instantly, but the people did not feel any turbulence, and there was no strong wind, only a little breeze. Boss, will you help when the time comes? Xiaoyu walked up to Shichen and asked. I will try my best to let you solve it by yourselves. If there is really an unforeseen situation, I will take action at that time. And, you can call me boss, otherwise it will feel a bit awkward to be heard by others calling me boss. Shichen thought for a while and said. Oh, I know. Xiaoyu nodded and stopped disturbing Shichen. Hello, let's meet officially. I'm Xiao. Thank you uncles and sisters for coming to help me. Xiao came to the others and said to them. It's okay. We are all members of the same group. It's only right to help each other. Dagu smiled when he heard this. This is my responsibility. It's okay to come and help. Madara also nodded. Xiao, we finally meet. Rem smiled at Xiao. There were only 2 girls in the group, so they were more concerned about each other. Although Rem was not strong enough this time, she still chose to come and help Xiao. Sister Rem, this is our first offline meeting. Xiao smiled at Rem. Yes, Xiao. Since I have nothing to do now, I'll start a live broadcast for everyone. Shichen said to the idle people. Ding, the group leader Shichen started the live broadcast, and all group members can enter to watch. Conan, Wulayoki, and Saitama in the live broadcast room saw this and clicked in instantly. Even Kai, who was on a mission, took the time to open the live broadcast. What's going on? Why did the group leader start a live broadcast? Tony and Wendy also appeared at this time, looking at the people in the live broadcast room, and they didn't understand what happened. After all, the time flow rate of each world is different. At this time, they have reached the second day and the two have rested well. Just opened the chat group, and found Shichen who started the live broadcast. Soon Conan explained to them what happened in Xiao's world, letting them know what happened when they were sleeping. Oh, it's all my fault. If I had been more careful last time, this wouldn't have happened. Wendy was a little annoyed when she heard it. Group leader, do you want me to go there too? Wendy thought about whether she should go there to help. After all, she was also responsible for this matter. No, I'm here this time, so you don't have to worry about Xiao's world. You can just watch their performance carefully. After all, they are not too strong guys. Shichen refused when he heard it, but with me here, he really didn't need anyone else, although this sounded a bit precise. Okay, since we still have some time, I will tell you about the world upgrade issue I mentioned last time. Shichen thought about it, and suddenly remembered what he had mentioned last time in the world of Orb, so he thought he should explain it. When everyone heard this, they immediately sat up straight and listened carefully to Shichen's explanation. This was related to the improvement of their own world, and it could also allow them to move to a higher level. The so-called world levels are the small thousand world, the middle thousand world and the great thousand world in ordinary novels. And above the great thousand world is the chaotic world with the existence of chaos. There are no ordinary creatures in the chaos, only we, the chaos demon god, exist. And the prehistoric world I am in is the top level world created from chaos. It can be promoted to the top level world because of some special existences. The highest level in the small thousand world can only reach the third level peak. The weakest in the middle thousand world can only have a fourth level existence, while the top ones can be promoted to quasi-sages. The same is true in the great thousand world. Low-level great thousand worlds can be promoted to saints. However, this is only the name of this world. In the whole world, it is called One Yuan Club. The highest one can be promoted to the heavenly Deo realm, and can even become a heavenly Deo saint. A power more powerful than the heavenly Deo realm. As for the realm I am in, it can only be promoted in chaos. You just need to understand it. It turns out that there are so many divisions in the world, but many worlds also have universes, and there are other worlds in the universe, and there are also divisions into multiverses. What are the reasons for these? Tony thought about his own world, with countless planets and race. Not only his strength, but also the world of Ultraman. Listening to Tony's question, Shichen slowly explained, every world has a world center. It may not be the strongest in the world now, but it must have had its glory in the past. This world center may be just a planet, or the universe, everything added up, can be collectively called 1,000 worlds and a great 1,000 worlds. The Xiaojian world basically only has one world or planet, and you will never be able to break through this limitation. Just like a two-dimensional character, you will never be able to break through the limitations of dimensions, from the second dimension to the third dimension. High-level worlds are different. They themselves include various dimensions. However, only by truly reaching the realm of the Loyo Jingxian can one break through the limitations of dimensions and jump from the second dimension to the third dimension at will. As the saying goes, jump out of the three realms, not in the five elements. It's the great Loyo Jingxian, because they have the ability to break the dimensional restrictions.